Welcome back to the show, everybody. Dana and I, as per usual, we're about to hit the record button, and we both say at the same time, wait, what are we doing again?
There's a line in a Peter Gabriel song. I don't know nothing. Something like, I can't remember. I can't recall. I have no memory of anything at all is the line. Comes to my head immediately, right when you hit tape, right when you hit record, I'm like,
how classic is it that Dana doesn't remember what we're about to talk about, but she does know that Peter Gabriel lyric?
I know, yeah. I have established multiple neuronal pathways to remember the words to songs from my childhood, but I can't remember what we decided 6 seconds ago that we were going to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
God.
this episode is hitting our friends. Hi, friends. Hi, everybody. Really, on the 24th. And we know this is a very hairy time for many, not for everybody. I find, Dana, that many of my clients don't look forward to the holidays. They are overwhelmed and stressed by the holidays for lots of different reasons. That could be sensory, that could be the decisions that need to be made, that could be that they feel forced to spend time in with parties and family and people, and might be an anniversary of a loss. I mean, lots of different feelings for the holidays. And so if you're listening to this on the 24th, we're hoping that today's topic will help carve out a little space for you.
It's interesting. I can remember, God, early in my therapy, and my therapist talking to me about, what do you do to feel safe? What do you do to feel nurtured? And the conversation inevitably went to my living space, which I lived in just a crap apartment, like roach infested, gross, disgusting place. So, and that was my first thing, like, how can I make this a sanctuary? And it occurred to me that at that point in my life, sanctuary wasn't necessarily like my apartment, but it was like certain parts of it or things that I could do. Like for me, getting on my bike in the summer when I could, that was sanctuary for me. Being at home with my pets was sanctuary. And then even though I didn't really like that apartment because it was so gross, it's all I could afford. It was the sense of when I'm in these doors, it's just me. And I get to decide, what is in my apartment. Do I put up decorations? If we're talking about the holidays, do I put up lights or whatever? How much clutter do I have? Don't I have? And that was even before I knew that I was autistic. And now, as Christmas approaches, it could be for Hanukkah or other holidays as well. I always feel a little bit tense because I'm thinking about, I have so many Christmas decorations, and they're mostly, look above me. They're mostly right above me in the attic in the boxes still. But I did spend years like collecting those little Christmas houses, and it was fun putting them up. And then, all the time it takes to put them up, all the time it takes to put them away. And as I've gotten older, I realize that it's not just the workload to set those things up. It's having all that stuff out and sort of visual clutter. And then I married someone who also doesn't like visual clutter, which is good. And so we have a tree, and we have just lights on the mantle, and that's pretty much it. I put some lights outside for the first time in a long time, easy to put up. And then my wife, after I did that, says, sitting there on the computer, she said, I ordered some more lights. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. She goes, no, I just want to put like wrap lights on the palm tree outside because it looks cool. And I just said, no, I said, that's fine, but you're going to have to put them up. I'm like, I've already put the ones outside. I've already gone through getting this one with little snowflakes hanging that literally took me 40 minutes to untangle. And I'm like, I'm not. And then, of course, she needs help. So we put them up, got them up. They're solar powered, and they don't bloody work the way they're supposed to. So the joke now is which string is on, which string isn't on. She bought some new ones to put up instead of those. So it's sort of like this idea of, extra work. I've talked to my clients and they'll say things like the traditions. Oh, but we always make these cookies, or I always go over to so and so's house and we listen to music and make cookies. How do you, to me, to do those things and actually to enjoy them is to have that refuge to come home to. Or some ways, I have a client who has several kids and it's just mayhem around the holidays and no getting over it. But her car, right? So her car, sometimes she'll go out in the garage without the car on, of course, and she'll just sit in the car. It's her car. She doesn't tote the kids around in that car. She keeps it nice and clean. So she'll just go out there like with a, little Swiffer thing and make sure everything's as clean as it could be. And she starts to tell me that she does this kind of like from a shame place. She's neurodivergent. And I said, that's awesome. So you have that. And she says, sometimes I'll just disappear like after dinner and I'll just go down there in my car. I'm like, your brain is taking you to a place that you need. So some people will have, if they don't have kids, it's not mayhem, your house or whatever, having it the way you want it to be. It's not just like a good thing to have. It's absolutely essential,
Yeah.
right? And it becomes even more so during times of the year where there's more unpredicted things, different foods, different, your living space might look different, where you work might look different, and everything else and everything in between. You're just getting assaulted with all this kinds of stuff. The other thing is, you can get overwhelmed and kind of be overdone by the good things. I mean, there may be things that you really enjoy doing. You're doing them and you're having a great time. And then you realize an hour later, you're like unregulated. What is going on there? It's just a lot of input, if you will, and things that you don't normally have in your day to day that are there. So what can you do to, my wife and I are extra aware of, and realizing as I'm talking about, we haven't said this, but we're really careful this time of year with everything that's going on to make sure that our living space is even more so the way we want it. Like I noticed that even with I had another surgery on my thumb, even with that, I'm making sure the dishes are put away. There's like
Yeah.
three things in the sink drying. I'm going to dry them and put away. And I'm like,
Yep.
what is that? It's the need to have this sort of artificial things taken care of because there's all this other stimulation coming at you. I've had clients that have done things like I get a different blanket out that's fuzzier to sleep in, and so I have that, right? Any of those kinds of things you can do with intention, especially around this time of year, are going to be even more important.
Yeah, it's the perception of control, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the feel of control.
yeah.
And I think so often the common feel for neurodivergent people is that I'm an alien in this world. Like
Yeah,
I don't belong on this planet, on this globe with these people at this time.
yeah, yeah,
And so much feels overwhelming and out of
yeah.
control that being able to establish a sense of control
Mm-hmm,
in
mm-hmm.
whatever way possible intentionally,
Yeah,
right? Because I think the other thing too is I'm listening to you about the dishes and I can
mm-hmm.
relate because there are these little things that I have to do as well.
Yeah,
Um and it just makes me feel better. But
yeah,
this is where people are accused of being obsessive. Right? Oh
yeah.
my God, that's
Yeah,
so OCD. That's so OCD, 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 right? And I know
yeah.
that's like kind of thrown around more colloquially or more as a descriptor than as,
Mm-hmm.
a diagnostic kind of
Right,
thing.
right, right.
But
Yeah.
the idea of it is like it's intentional. I don't
Yeah,
know,
and
like
whether it's holiday time or not, if it's not disrupting your life, like you're laying in
right.
bed and you're not asleep and you're like, did I put that dish away? Then we're into problem country.
Yeah.
If it's just to be organized and have your space the way you want it to be, that's adaptive. And it like you said, if it makes you feel better and you recognize I need to do this because I'm feeling unregulated, that's different. You have that awareness of it, right? I'm aware of like I plan for my meals to be different around that time. And so I'm extra planful of what I'm doing leading up to that. And then I do that afterwards too, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just because, it's not like, oh, holidays, I'm going to put on weight. It really isn't that. It's more about, I don't want to feel a certain way, because when I have some stuff I'm not used to eating, that becomes a allostatic load that I have a hard time regulating, right? Because you can't fix it right away. You eat a bunch of pizza and your fingers are swollen for at least a day, and there's nothing you can do about that, right? So those kinds of things, even having some communication with people in your life about why you need that. And my wife will do that too. She'll be like, I just need to do this thing. And it's her way of saying, don't look at me like I'm crazy, which I wouldn't anyway, but don't look at me like I'm crazy. It's her way of saying, I know this has nothing to do with anything else, but I just need this right now. And I'm like, oh, totally. So we can do that for each other. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you intentionally setting that? If you co-live with people and you can't manage the environment, make sure you have a space, your car, your bed, whatever it is, a corner of a room, and people in your life need to know that you might need that, so that they're not judging you and saying, oh, that's so obsessive. It just really is. To me, when I'm doing more of that stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, I must be
Yeah.
feeling unregulated, right?
Yeah.
Um, this time of year, we're going through, where I work, we're going through applications for students for next year. And so all of us, it's just the worst timing ever, but it's how it works out. We have to do these huge file reviews and say yes or no for an interview. And each of us has to do a lot of these. It's like 15 of them a piece. And for me, even, they take like 20, 25 minutes each to go through everything. So we get them sort of piecemeal, our admin person sending them. And I was realizing that as I would get them, I'm like, I want to do this right now. I want to get done, right? Now, part of that was I had a lot of other stuff to do too, but it was also like that focus of the dish in the sink. I'm like, ooh, I was having fun with being the person that got all of theirs in for the fastest, right? Reviewing them as I should be, but I'm like, oh, I want to get these done. And it was that same sort of completion feeling was giving me some solace and helping to regulate me, right?
Yeah.
Um, doing, for me, cleaning's a big one that makes me feel in order and having less clutter. But what is it for you? Is it going outside and going for a walk, hugging trees? Is it spending time with your animal? Is it engaging in your special interests? What is it that you feel that sense of grounding? And sanctuary was the word we were using when we were talking about doing this episode. What's your sanctuary? What's your
Yep.
sanctuary space consist of? Yeah.
Yeah. And it could also be like, let's look at this really flexibly, as Dana,
Mm-hmm.
kind of alluded to like earlier. It can be a space. It can even be an
Mm-hmm.
item.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
It
Yep.
could be an item you take with you. It could
Mm-hmm.
be something you do, an
Mm-hmm.
activity that you take with you, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how many times do I see people like knitting or crocheting in a waiting room
Yeah.
or on a
Yeah. Yeah.
bus
Oh,
or, or whatever, doing something busy like that.
my
Oh, yeah.
students
Oh,
introduced me. Do you know what these are?
what's that,
They're called
Dana?
they're called little ouchies. So my
Little
students
ouch.
introduced. I was asking about these, and that one, the student goes to hand me one. Be careful, it's sharp. And I'm like, oh, you have no idea my pain threshold. But it's not gonna injure you, but you can squeeze it really hard, and it kind of hurts.
Ooh,
And it kind of, to me, it was like, ooh. So it's sort of like that. We know that self injury can sometimes is a regulating device.
yes.
We don't want you to hurt yourself. But I find this one, when I'm frustrated or I'm angry, to just inflict a little. It's like, ooh, it's sort of like, remember when you were a little kid and you were losing your teeth, when you'd turn it just so, and it kind of gave you that good feeling,
Yeah.
like when you shut.
Yeah.
It's like that, and then you can let go of it, and it doesn't hurt your hand. This could be something you even keep in your pocket. Like, I consider this like as a regulating device or a sanctuary device. If I'm somewhere I can't do anything else, no one can tell how hard I'm squeezing this. I could just think it's a little play toy, and really I'm inside having murderous rage at what's going on right now. And no one can
Yeah.
tell, because you get it, that your vagus nerve gets a hit when you do that without actually hurting yourself. So be creative. It can be a thing. It can be, something in your mind. It can be a song that you're replaying in
Yep.
your head.
Yep.
Find some
Yep.
way to find that. Yep.
Like control part of your real estate,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that is, right? And I think a lot
Yeah.
of times we have this very defined, concrete, rigid, our own rigid ideas of like, I'm only comfortable at home. And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
could be the
right, yeah.
case.
Could
Like
be, yeah,
that
yeah,
actually
yeah,
absolutely could be the case.
yeah.
I mean, most of my clients are like, they wouldn't even say home, they'd say their room is
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
would say. Like it's
yeah,
not even
yeah.
home per se, but it's like
Mhm.
the control of their room. But
Sure.
it does come back to, what do you need
Mhm.
when you're feeling distressed, overwhelmed, dysregulated, whatever,
Yeah,
however you
yeah,
want to say it. But yeah, be creative and open-minded about how to create some sanctuary for yourself. It's so funny
mhm.
because we're using this religious term. It's not
That's a
something
religious
religion.
term? Sanctuary is a religious term? Really?
I mean, it's a sanctuary, right? I mean, in the sense that
Mm.
that's where you go to worship.
Oh, I was thinking sanctuary could even be just like being outdoors and nature but yeah, interesting.
It's just like
Interesting.
it's an interesting, whatever it is though, be intentional about it.
Yeah,
Get in
yeah.
front of it, make a choice about it. That as
Mhm.
well, I think is going to serve to empower you
Yeah, yeah,
to create or gain a little bit of control back
yeah,
in
yeah.
kind of a bigger, feeling more overwhelmed or out of
Yeah,
control,
exactly.
which is very disempowering. It's where I
Yeah,
would say it's where most of my clients feel.
yeah.
They really feel like they don't have a lot of say in the world.
Mhm,
And that's a hard
mhm.
place to be,
Yeah, yeah.
chronically.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
okay,
Yep.
so a little ouchie. I didn't know about I mean, I guess that's
Yeah, I didn't
another
either. These
take
are
on
awesome. Yeah.
the like the squishy toy or the stress
Yeah.
ball or whatever.
Yeah, whatever
That's
works for you. Because I'll try some of those squishy
yeah.
things, and I don't like the texture and that, but this thing, yeah, it's great. They
I
have them
think I
on
need to
Amazon.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I need to get one
yeah,
of those. That's really
yeah.
cool.
And then they have ones that are bigger that have clickies on the top, and ones that part of it you can
Oh,
spin, so it has
spin.
like
Yeah, yeah, they're
multiple.
fidgets.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
That's really kind of scratching that tactile pressure
Hmm,
kind of
hmm.
thing.
And the vagus
Um,
nerve with a bit of pain in there, it actually helps your brain can only pay attention to that, and it helps to bring your overall heightened level down.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
great.
interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, everybody, not sponsored by Little Ouchies. What is it called? What is it called, Dina?
Little ouchie.
Little
If you
Ouchies.
Google little ouchie, you'll find all kinds of places you can buy those. Yeah,
Little
great.
Ouchies, if you would like to sponsor Dana and I, please reach out.
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
You know what? They can, and then we can
Uh,
just like give them away to our 5 people that listen to
yeah,
our show.
yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
anyway,
Yeah.
to the 5 of you who are here, have a good holiday. Create some space for yourself. Create,
Yeah,
whatever that looks like, whether it's on the go, in your home.
yeah, yeah.
Um, you know,
Do what you got to
be
do. Yep.
intentional. Be intentional
Yeah.
about it. All right, everyone. Be good to you, be good to others. We will catch you in the next episode. Bye.